The sister turned off the TV while the brother was playing video games, and he murdered her with a hammer.
What game, though?
What?
That's truly one of the worst stories I've ever heard. Actually, no. Yesterday, because the day before yesterday, we were talking about the 11-year-old who shot his dad and killed his dad while his dad was asleep in bed.
That one's a whopper too.
Yeah, dad takes the 11-year-old's Nintendo away.
I saw
or whatever,
that.
And then I guess everybody goes to bed for the evening, and the kid goes and grabs a gun, walks into the bedroom, and shoots dad while he's in bed, kills him seemingly instantly, and now they're trying the 11-year-old as an adult. Aggravated homicide, I think.
I think this is a possible question. I don't have a good answer, but I'll ask you.
Okay.
If you're king, how do you deal with an 11-year-old that murdered his father?
Dude, that kid's fucked in the head, first off. I mean,
is he?
I don't know, man. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I got grounded all the time when I was a kid, and I never thought I'm gonna go grab a steak knife and take care of that. That never even crossed my mind.
I did cross mine. When I first heard this story, I instantly thought I would get hit.
Tell him the story.
I related to this,
and then I would wish.
Would give us a backstory? Would give us a backstory? It's too dark if you don't.
No,
I'm just imagining you holding a steak knife to your parents'
mom through the mud for the 10,000th time.
Are you afraid she'll hit you again?
So after, when I was in tears, I would have these fantasies that she'd get run over by a tractor trailer, and then he would hear it and then back up. So when I hear about this 11-year-old, I'm like, well, I wouldn't have thought that for a Nintendo loss, but anyway, I'm like, fucking
what
kids,
level he was on.
They're not finished products is my core point.
Mm-hmm.
This is an 11-year-old, and I don't know what to do with them. On the lowest end, 1 minute of timeout for every year old. 11 minutes of timeout. Okay. And then on the other end, which seems to be the way they're going, is try as an adult and lock him up forever. He's 11. He doesn't even understand forever yet.
I think we're thinking about his rights and his future too much. I think you need to look at it do I want him on the streets with me and
exactly.
mine?
So I don't want
him just existing in the world with an expunged record after 18, just getting some job as an accountant somewhere, and one day he just hauls off and fucking stabs Patel 8 times in the ear with a one of those things you punch papers down on or something.
And what would you like as your last meal? Dino nuggies and Kraft mac and cheese.
So circling back, Goblin, you're king. How do you deal with an 11-year-old murderer? Do you treat him like an adult, like a child, somewhere? What do you do?
Well, I mean, with going back to what you said about how you'd wish your mom got ran over by a tractor, I feel like that's not the same thing. As wishing to do something yourself, I mean, dude, when you put it like that, there was definitely many times when I was a kid, and I was like, yo, that bus better hit my dad, I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do? But I don't want to drive it. That's I'll separate myself from that.
That's true.
But dude, if I'm king, that kid's probably going to the gallows, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He might have to swing or something. I don't know. How do you rehabilitate that? At 11 years old,
is it even rehabilitate?
Right, maybe we can utilize it. Maybe we send him to some sort of military prison and we train him to be a soldier. Maybe we make him some sort of hunter killer.
Just how we make CIA agents.
We're clearly starting with an 11-year-old sociopath with nothing to live for, right? But he's like the $6 million man before they made him the $6 million man. He's laying in that plane wreckage and but we have the technology. We can rebuild him. We can
hand him an AK-47. See those guys over there? They took your Switch.
There are 11-year-olds all over the country who put on a cape and jump off a roof, or grab an umbrella and think they can fly, like it'll work as a makeshift parachute. And these are people who just don't understand up from down, have no concept of consequences. They're just too young and too dumb and too incomplete to understand what their actions bring. Okay, King, 1 second. And I'm like, so this is that, but with murder, but it's a similar kind. It's a parallel, having no idea what he's doing.
But there's, like you said, across the country, there are a bunch of 11-year-olds who jump off of the roof thinking they're Batman and they can fly with an umbrella or whatever. And there are...
Batman can't fly, but we'll let that go.
We'll let it slide. There's
Hey,
one 11-year-old who blasted his dad. All those same 11-year-olds have access to firearms. We live in America, and they get grounded from their Switch or their iPad all the time, and they don't decide that the proper course of action is to shoot their father.
Yeah. I
I'm
never
a crazy one.
when I was punished, I never thought of like getting my parents back. I thought of like, God, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have gotten caught doing that, or I wish dad had caught me and not mom, because she takes these fires way too seriously. Like whatever I was in trouble for, like I never thought like, you bitch, I'll get you. I'll let the air out of your tires so you wreck into the ditch on the way to work. Like I didn't think anything like that ever. I love my mom and dad so much. Like and it's hard to put myself back in the mental mindset of an 11-year-old, but I'm trying. That's what?
It's like fifth
What
grade.
grade is that? Fifth grade? Oh, dude, this is insane for fifth grade. I was going hunting with my dad in fifth grade. Like I was operating a 12-gauge shotgun in a dove field in fifth grade. This is no excuse for this. That's a rough one. Yeah.
Would you have said like first grade's excusable, kindergarten?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like in first grade, I remember playing like laser tag and Nerf with my cousins and stuff. And like, I don't think I had a concept. I mean, I had shotguns even in the first grade, but I was a little brain. You're just not together enough to even understand the death and the finality of it.
I was going to say, I guess it's kind of dependent on whether or not you even have a concept of death.
Yeah.
That's kind of why they say, I mean, I only have 3 kids, but I lost them in the divorce. But isn't you're supposed to like get a pet essentially to teach your kids like shit dies? Am I right, Woody? Have you never heard that before?
I haven't heard that before. Yeah,
you kill it right in front of them. You're like,
Right?
Let me show you what happens when you play with guns. Bang!
We'll yell at him immediately.
Daisy, the pug.
She wasn't even sick.
Well, like getting a puppy when your kids are little, and then they raise with it, or they're raised with it, and then when they're about like 8 to 10 years old, the dog dies, and it's like, yep, that's death. Max is gone forever type situation.
When we talked about this a couple days ago, that's one of the things I mentioned to Woody. Like, I had this early idea of what death was and the danger of firearms from hunting, because I think I killed my first deer when I was 9 or something like that with a rifle, and it was like, he's not coming back. Like, it all connected when you've seen all that, and you'd seen how dangerous guns are and the damage they do. That it's not the movies. You're not going to get wounded. You're going to get deaded. If we have a mistake or an accident or wave this thing at someone, I never thought of guns in a joking way, even as a child. So they were never locked up. Like, our guns were always. I had the safe combination when I was 12 at the latest. Like, as soon as I was able to remember 3 2-digit combinations and left, right, and everything. Like, I'd have probably known it sooner. I just couldn't remember the fucking combo.
You just want to count. You watched Sesame Street to learn the safe combination.
That's an extreme end of, like, I don't know, early growing up though. Like, having gun safe combinations as soon as you can remember 3 numbers. Like, that's early. I didn't touch a gun until I was in my 30s. No, that's not true. I did as a Boy Scout, but I didn't own a gun until my 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's also like how our American ancestors lived, like guns all over the house, basically, to defend the place and hunt. And from an early age, you were an extra gun in the field to shoot rabbits and quail and whatever you were subsisting on potentially. Like, you just knew, and you grew up with them around. And there wasn't this, I always say, when there's this fascination, when my parents would leave, I would start like going up on the top shelves and getting the cookies out of the cookie jar and stuff. I'm going for the things that I'm denied when they're here. But I wasn't denied guns. So when my parents left, I didn't play with guns. I mean, I did if I wanted to, but I wasn't tempted to. It wasn't like, ooh, they're gone. Let's get the guns out. It wasn't a special or unique thing or something I, didn't have access to already.
King, you think this kid is worth, like, this kid is just so defective, you just throw him away? Is that the move?
I think there's definitely something mortifyingly wrong with him. I don't know if killing him is the right move at 11 years old, 5th grade, but
nice padded room or something.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could possibly do. Well, like those kids in England back in, it was like 1990.
Yes, those 2 boys.
Yes, on the train tracks, the like the shit that they did, and those guys they're out free now.
Yeah, with expunged records, I think.
Yes, you literally aren't allowed. I think you aren't allowed to like take a picture of them.
Yeah, it was these two kids. They were like, roughly speaking, I think they were like 11 and 13 or something like that. 11 and 12, 9 and 11, and they kidnapped a 5-year-old from the mall and took him off and beat him to death, tortured him and beat him to death.
Tortured him, and I think like sexually assaulted him and then killed him.
Oh God!
Yeah, like they crushed his skull with a pipe or a bar of metal, and then I think they left him on the train tracks. So it would appear that the death was caused by a train hit. So I'm guessing they laid him over the rail, and he probably got all smushed up.
Cut in half. I think they put like, batteries inside of him.
That's way worse than shooting dad in the head.
That's so much worse because shooting dad in the head is 15 seconds of bad judgment. These guys spent a day being this.
Oh yeah, there was
days getting ready.
But they were taking him across town, and people were seeing them like sort of bully this little kid, and nobody helped.
Nobody did anything.
They were slapping this little 5-year-old around as they like drug him off to be murdered. Yeah, that's a rough story.
I'll say because it's a slightly different story, but like in my hometown, he was a kid who was like 14-ish, but he had mental issues, just a bit slow. And he got in trouble from his dad over something simple that he did. And he went out in the garage, grabbed a hammer, and then beat both of his parents to death with a hammer. And he only got life. But he was, like 16, and that's way past, I guess, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. St. Louis, I assume.
We have a running joke about the amount of hammer-related homicides and assaults in St. Louis, Missouri. It's shocking.
They're leading the league.
Results. If you just type in hammer attack, it autofills St. Louis. like Google knows.
Just a weapon of choice.
I don't know. It's an ongoing thing there. They got to get some hammer control in St. Louis.
Got a lot of angry carpenters in St. Louis. They got a lot of something there. I don't know what it is.
If it was I was about to say if it was my 11-year-old. If it's my 11-year-old, I'm fucking dead. If I'm the mom, and mom's surely going to forgive him. That seems like a thing that moms could do. If I'm his mom, I'm thinking like, let this kid have another shot at life. But if I'm Joe Citizen, I'm
sleep with the door locked though.
You goddamn right, we sleep with the door locked. but if I'm thinking from Joe Q Public standpoint, don't put that kid back on the fucking streets. Like that kid's damaged goods. If he weren't damaged goods before he did this awful thing, he's ruined now. Like he's some sort of fucking sociopath whose mind has just been destroyed. And he's about to spend at least till he's 18. If they're trying him as an adult though. What do you do with an 11-year-old who you
can't put him
obviously he doesn't go to adult prison. Like he's going to have to be in some kind of a juvenile facility, federal detention center or something.
You don't put him in a foster home.
You could put him in one of those Norwegian prisons and then just make sure he has a Nintendo Switch or he'll fucking shoot you.
All right, here's a good question.
But if he goes real quick, though, if he goes from like 11 to 18 in some grippy sock mental health facility, like that's not going to produce a normal functioning human either. I don't know how to do anything with this kid, but I, by nature, don't really hold 11-year-olds responsible for what they do. They're idiots.
How much would I have to pay you per year to foster this child? He lives in your home down the hallway. He's essentially your little boy now. He's moving in.
Yeah, I'll do it. It's fine. I'm here for the adventure.
For free?
Yeah, if I get murdered, then it's an alternative retirement savings strategy.
Jesus Christ. You haven't even thought about the life insurance policy, Kyle. This is going to be big business for us here.
No, I don't know. The problem isn't me. It's everybody else.
Exactly. And that's my argument for like releasing him into the public. Like maybe he doesn't track you. He's going to be coexisting with the rest of fucking society as a broken individual who was already some sort of a sociopathic child like Michael Myers. Like that's the premise of Halloween, is that Michael Myers murders his sister on Halloween night. I think he was 8 in the movies, I think. But nonetheless, like I don't want that guy in my like community. I don't want him around me. 18-year-old version of that guy. I'm scared shitless of that guy. And the fact that their records get expunged, that they just sort of incognito sociopath living among you is terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think they should get their records purged at all. That part's fucked up.
I don't either.
I don't know. I just feel like kids are not finished products. We can't judge them by what they do until they get older, unless there's some expert in the field who knows better than me. I don't know exactly what to do with them. I don't want to put them back in 6th grade. I think it'd be 6. You subtract 5.
Yeah.
I don't want to put them back in 6th grade with just the other kids, but I don't want to put him in a prison either. That guarantees that he's ruined.
Send him to an adorable child-sized prison with only child inmates.
This is genius.
Yeah.
This is genius. Yeah.
I think that's what they'll do. I think there's some sort of in-between facility. They're going to have to put him in some juvenile facility until he turns 18, and then they'll send him to a state or federal penitentiary.
What state was this in, by the way?
Oh yeah, maybe Pennsylvania. But it's been a couple days since I read. Let's see.
They're just going to be pistol whipping each other with like Nerf guns in the little kid prison.
Yeah, it's Pennsylvania. Yeah. That's rough, dude.
Nerf gonna break.
I feel like almost everyone had like that one kid in their town that like everyone knew about that killed someone or something, you know?
We had a guy who, in this, you got to keep in mind, this is in the years right after 9/11, everybody was real sensitive about anything at all. And this kid was like 16 years old, and he was riding around town with a .22 rifle just shooting stuff, like shooting the windows out of the bank, shooting those inflatable Santa Clauses in people's yards. It was that time of year. And he was just shooting the windows out of like banks and grocery stores, and they called him the Livonia Sniper. And it's like, all right, maybe we've gone too far. But like, he got in so much
sniper
trouble.
Ever, never hit a person.
No, never hit anybody. He wasn't attending to anybody. He was just, I mean, it was the equivalent of throwing rocks, you know, at windows and stuff. But he was doing
with extra risk.
Gun.
Yeah.
And dude, they disappeared that kid. I never saw Barkley again. I don't know what they did to him. Like he left the whole school system. Never saw him again. Don't know what they did to him.
So I'll go real quick. I want to hear Goblin's story. I knew both of them, the brother and sister. But if I know the story right, the sister turned off the TV while the brother was playing video games, and he murdered her with a hammer. The sister was my age. She was in my classes, and he was like 2 years younger.
What game? Though?
What? It's a good question. I'd have to assume something that you can't just sit still for a few minutes without consequences.
Back
What
in the day,
was the
you couldn't
murderer
say.
in your family? Not your family. I meant to say your town. You said everyone has that guy in their town.
There was a pretty legendary. Well, okay, legendary is probably not the word I want to use, but there was this kid who was like 2 grades above me, and there was a party, and it was like the school district over from mine, but like still close enough where everyone kind of mingled and everything. There was this kid named Zach who went to this party and was talking to this girl that he knew, and she rejected him. And like, apparently the story goes like, she said he was very ugly. That's like how the news story goes and everything, which he looks like shit if you've ever seen him. And he later that night goes to the girl's house, and he breaks into their house and stabs both of her parents with a kitchen knife, like from their kitchen. They both survive, and he's still in jail. And the girl he didn't touch. He just went and stabbed her parents. I'm pretty sure there's a news article for this too. Hold on, let me find it. I'll link it to you guys.
So he broke into a house and stabbed a girl's parents? What? I think I didn't. Why did he break in? What was the story?
He went to this party, and it was like just like a house party of some random person, and he was talking to this girl that was like in his grade that he knew there that lived in the area, and was like trying to hit on her, and she denied him and like said something along the lines of like, "Oh, you're ugly" or something like that. And later that night, he leaves the party, and he knows where she lives, and he goes to her house and breaks in and goes into the kitchen and takes a knife and goes and stabs both of her parents. And I found the article actually. Here, I'll link it real quick. Right here. This is like 10 years ago. I was like a sophomore when this happened. But it says in the article, a teenager is accused of stabbing the parents of a girl who allegedly made comments about his looks at a party. DuPage County officials, I'm not going to say that last name. It's very long. But said Zachary, 18. It's a long one. Told police he was tired of being made fun of and tired of being told he was ugly. And like, dude, if you look at his picture in the article, he's ugly as fuck.
Better watch your back. Oh my.
Understandable.
Oh,
But apparently the male victim, the dad, fought him off, and like they both survived and everything. And it says the alleged offender is an acquaintance of the couple's 18-year-old daughter. Officials say he apparently was mad at her for making a disparaging comment about his looks while they were at the party. But he went to a high school in like a neighboring district called Naperville North, which is like right in my area where I grew up. Yeah.
Well, you don't
I feel like you can't rehabilitate
ugly.
that kid.
I wonder what she said. He said he's tired of being told he's ugly. Okay. Did she really say, no, you're too ugly? Because that's harsh. I've been rejected many times, never with like that brutality.
First of all, homie is a rough looking guy.
Did you look at the picture in the article?
I did.
Rough,
I did. Yeah, it was halfway
He's a
through
bit
the
of a
video.
mongoloid. He's a bit of a mongoloid. Not a good looking feller. A lot of facial hair for an 18-year-old. No, there's not. It's acne. My bad. Yeah, ugly guy. Ugly guy. I bet she said some mean, diabolical shit, dude. Because, like, my take is if he's wilding enough to go stab her parents, he was probably wacky enough to like hit on her in like a very forward kind of way. And like when an ugly guy or anybody, if an ugly person hits on you, there's a little bit of this thing. It's like, you thought we were on the same level? And
yep, that's
we're
sexual
not.
harassment.
It's almost an insult to you if like a real uggo or a real fatso hits on you. You're like, how dare you suggest that we are on the same like dating field platform? Like this is an insult to me. I need to tear you down to regain my self-worth. So I'm picturing that. I'm picturing that's what happened.
Insecure shit. I've been hit on by gay
insecure
guys.
like an 18-year-old high school girl?
I thought, dude's got good taste. Not gay.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Was it? Yeah, but it wasn't an ugly guy. What if it was a real slob?
Nah, he was smoke show.
He was fucking smoke show. You were like, dude, our babies, if we could have babies, our butt babies' calves would be popping. Like, yeah, I know you thought that. This guy, if this guy hit on you, you'd be like, you're fucking an uggo, you creep. All right? I don't even want you to subscribe to me, you little punk. You're blocked.
As a straight man, I wouldn't fuck this guy, but as a gay man, I also would not fuck this guy.
Yeah, that's awful. Stabbed her parents to death. I wonder if he went there to get her and the parents. Oh, he left the party.
The parents both lived, actually. He just stabbed him a lot of times, but they both
good
lived.
for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, no one died, but I'm pretty sure the guy's still in jail. Sometimes when I'm bored, I go on to like Illinois inmate lookup, and you can look up his like mugshot and stuff. His latest
Still
one.
ugly.
I feel like this dude's better at murder than picking up girls because at least he came close.
Let's see if he's still ugly. I'll tell you in like 5 seconds. Hold on.
Like, wouldn't that be the worst if they give him 35 years and he like blossoms in prison and he's a real cutie?
He's the gym, you know, comes out all swole.
He blossomed into like a normal looking guy, kind of. I think actually.
He just had an awkward phase.
He actually did. Let me put a screenshot of this. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, look at him.
He's going to get out. He's going to hit on a girl, and she's
no,
going to
he didn't. What are you talking about, bro?
Dude, compared to the picture in the article, like, come on.
This guy could get cast in like a Lord of the Rings adaptation as some sort of a troll man or a goblin folk.
Okay,
I know for knowledge.
It's screwed in.
The picture I just put is like he could get cast. The picture in the article is like he's in makeup and like ready to go.
Let's show the pictures. Like, it's like, what is this guy going to do? Stab us?
Stab our parents?
Look at that guy.
Good look. What he said, this is a good-looking guy.
Lopsided, you know, he's got a V shape.
He's oblong.
Yeah, I'm no phrenologist, but those measurements are not good. Polish.
We're gonna get a really mean comment from
better without
family
the beard.
members.
Like one of my biggest issues, how his head seems below the ears. His head is an extra large, and above the ears is just a large.
I'm wondering why his teeth don't all fit in his mouth. Like this is an ugly, like slow-witted fellow. Tell when someone looks in a camera if they got any wits about him. This is a dumb guy. You can tell.
Yeah, those dents on the side of your head, that's what contains the restraint from stabbing a girl who denies you sex, from murdering her parents.
That's why his skull's so pointy. He's
We
missing
cleared
that
up the
part of
acne,
brain.
though.
He does have a
He is
pointy
weird.
head. I feel like if you dropped him head first in the sand, he'd go much deeper than me.
Yeah, he looks like a punch.
Like a
you
bunker
make some marks
buster.
for tooling. Yeah, what an ugly, terrible person.
I'm glad they lived.
I tire of him.
Yeah. Thank God.
Take him away. Get the hideous creature out of here.
This is the best day of my life. Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.